anyị sụọ Igbo ekene m unu na-asị unu nnọọ na Igbo Online College.
Igbo is the language spoken by the Igbo people.
Taa ife anyị na-amụ maka ya bụ nsọala. N'omenala Igbo enwe ife a na-akpọ arụ na nsọala. Nsọala n'oge ogo nke ya pekarịrị arụ. Nsọala, ịma na n'omenala Igbo enwere ife a na-akpọ ala. Ndị Igbo kwenye na onwe chi na ala bụ chi nke. In Igbo there is what we call abomination and sacrilege. The Igbo people believe that the land itself is a god. So there are some things you do, it will be against the land. The land will become unhappy, so they tell you you have committed Nsọala, imere Nsọala. You have desecrated the land. On the other hand, arụ is what we call abomination, and it is higher in hierarchy compared to sacrilege, compared to Nsọala. Now, there are some things the Igbo people consider Nsọala. Things like nwoke idene nwunye nwa ya, a man having sexual relation with his daughter-in-law, maọbụ nwa mmadụ idene nwunye nna ya, a person's son having sexual relations with his wife, with the wife of his father, a woman climbing a palm tree, a woman nwanyị iri elu nkwụ, nwanyị iri elu ukwu ọjị, a woman climbing the kola nut tree, or even plucking it. A woman does not pluck kola nuts. The man goes to pluck and gives to the woman. There are other things that could be considered sacrilege, Nsọala. Mmadụ ije n'ọba ji nyụọ nsị. Somebody going to defecate in the yam barn is sacrilegious in Igbo culture. Mmadụ ije nyụọ nsị maọbụ amịrị ebe a kọrọ ihe, somebody going to a farm to defecate or urinate is sacrilege in Igbo culture. Also, the Igbo people consider uprooting of planted things sacrilegious. Ọ bụrụ na mmadụ gaa n'ubi ebe a kọrọ ihe, bọpụtasịa ihe a kọrọ, Nsọala. Ma ọ na ijelu, ọ bụrụ na osisi na-elute nwa, osisi emewego na-elute nwa, je gbuo ya, Nsọala. When a tree begins to bud, then you cut it. It is sacrilegious in Igbo culture. Then, when a woman fights a man, especially the husband, and throws him to the ground, Nsọala. A woman is not supposed to fight a man, say talk quarrel, throwing him to the ground. So they consider it sacrilegious. Then, when a woman that is mourning her husband gets pregnant, nwanyị nọ na ajadu, dị ime, Nsọala. Ndị Igbo na-asị nọ Nsọala n'umelu alụ. In fact, this one is, they even consider it to be abomination. Nwanne na nwanne inwe mmekọ, siblings having sexual relations, is arụ. It's not even Nsọala this time. This one is arụ. Then, when a woman has sexual relations with her son, nwaanyị na nwa ya inwe mmekọ. Nwaanyị na anụmanụ inwe mmekọ, ọ na-emelụ ala dịka omenala Igbo si wee dị. Now, let me quickly tell you something. These laws, at that time, that is what they knew. And they put these laws to moderate societal life. And there was decorum. Then, there was decorum. People respected these laws because, according to history, when you commit any of these things, why? Because they had idols that they sacrificed to make effective these laws. So, when you do any of these things, that is how they were able to have a sane society at that time. You would have your plants in the farm and nobody will touch it. You cannot see women having sexual relations with animals. And you cannot see a son going to sleep with his father's wife, or the father sleeping with his children, his daughter or daughters, or his son's wife. You don't see those things. Then, now, if you engage in any of these, there are things you do to cleanse the land. Let's say you eventually did it. There were things they did those days to cleanse the land. Number one, people that help in the cleansing were native doctors. We call them dibia. Dibia. You see that you say dibia afa. They were native doctors. We have different types of dibia. So when you say dibia afa, dibia is a native doctor but specializing in afa divination. Dibia orogona mkpa akwụkwọ, the one that gives you medicine, traditional medicine. Then when you say dibia beke, it means doctor, medical doctor. Then dibia anyanzu, native doctor. Alright, they are the people that helped with the appeasing of the land, with the appeasing of the land. Yes, I'm now trying to say it in Igbo. Na walu, aru, they are the ones that appease the land. Now, there are materials, there are things you bring depending on the part of Igbo land or what the native doctor tells you to bring. Number one, you bring ebune or ebule. That is ram, big ram, white, ebulocha. You bring egg, and you bring egg, aqua, and you bring omo, onono, the palm frond, the fresh palm frond, the baby ones, you bring them. And during that time, you will be hitting the ram on the floor, telling the arrow to go, to leave you. After that, you put the egg in the palm frond to go around your compound, to tell the arrow to leave your compound, to tell the arrow to leave your compound. Then after that, they will now take the egg and move it around your head for how many times, whether 3 times or 7 times. Then, depending on the native doctor, then that is the Ikwari, you will go. Now, then, according to history, if somebody fails to do this, some things happen to the person. Things like untimely death, some things like misfortunes, fire outbreak. And then when such things happen, they believe that it is because this person did this, and refused to appease the land. That is why such things happen to the person. So, but today, these things are no longer there as they were before now. Why? Because we are now Christians. The Christianity has come and has changed the mindset, the perception, and the belief of many people. You can only see this in interior villages. There are some people that still do these things. Traditionalists, they still do them. But the question is, today that we seem to know better, that we seem to be exposed, people now commit worse things than this. And I ask, why? We are supposed to know better. So, this is one of the cultures Igbo people had before the coming of the white man, before the coming of Christianity. And those days, they held it so high. Today, you can still see it, but you see it with traditionalists, or you see it in interior villages where Christianity has not had a strong hold. But education and Christianity has really changed a lot of things, that it is no longer as it used to be. So this is it on Nsọala, sacrilege in Igbo culture. Odimma, kemesia. See you in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.